Hello and welcome to Lyons Township High School. I'm Ann Dudek and I'll be working with your students this year in English 1 Honors. We've had a couple weeks to meet so far and I just want to say your students are delightful. I'm really excited to get to work with them this year as we pursue our lot of great literature and a lot of good writing activities that we'll have to work with this year. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I start my 30th year in teaching. I taught for 3 years in the city at De La Salle Institute, and then I joined LT, and this is starting my 27th year at LT. My first couple years, I coached the congressional debate team, and then I was able to join the theater program and worked in that for about 20 years, and did many wonderful productions with students. It was a great time to work with them, both on the stage for the rehearsals and to see the performances, and then all the work that went into the program behind the stage as well too, with not only my shows, but my colleagues' shows as well too. So it was a really wonderful experience. I had to step out a little bit to have some time with family as my nieces and nephews grow up. I want to see some more of their productions and to hear some more of my mom and dad's stories as well too. So that was good time for me to step out, but hopefully I'll be able to get back, and hopefully LT will be moving in the direction of all the activities for the students to join. On the homepage, they can go under activities and see all the clubs and sports and get a little bit of information about those and contact information as things hopefully open up, and they'll have a chance to do that and join those activities as well too. So let me share the screen and tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing in class this year. So our study for the freshman year is divided into genre studies, and so this first unit or quarter, and we'll probably spill a little bit into October as well too, late October, will be on short stories. We have a really wide selection of short stories, some that are very classic, some that are more modern, to really have the students take a look at how the authors develop characters and setting and all of that, working towards a general idea of what the story is about. Imagery and analogies and structure. So we'll really take apart the short stories. There's some really interesting ones, very ambiguous ones sometimes, so it's kind of fun to sort them all out. Our second unit will work with Romeo and Juliet, the play by Shakespeare, and we'll again continue a lot of our literary analysis and writing about both of those two units. We will develop our voice and style and reflection as we work with personal writing and creative writing. So we'll have some emulations and assignments for students to tap into that part of their growing voice as well too. During the second part of the year, we'll study the Odyssey by Homer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. And we do more research during the second semester. They'll have a chance to incorporate a number of different resource databases that we'll have at the LT library homepage. And they'll be investigating things which will link back to the literary texts, but also allow them to examine contemporary issues and to think about those and to write about those. And we will hope to end the year with our formal research-based presentation. The students will have a chance to choose a topic and to work through that and to formally present that in a couple different mediums. So we have a lot of really exciting things to do this year with our writing, our thinking, our reading, working with discussions and presenting skills throughout the year. Our course is set up with a number of different types of assignments, and this is kind of the way LT has moved in general with the formative and summative assessments. So formative assessments are considered practice, and the student will receive feedback on those, but they do not count toward the overall grade. However, the expectation, of course, is that they do complete all of that work, as that will help them to grow in the skills that we're working on, and would also get them ready if they would like to do a revision of one of the summative assignments. So the summative work is the work that actually counts toward the overall grade. And again, there are some policies in the Language Arts Division policy. I'll meet with students to set what those goals will be, and we'll have meetings to work on any kind of revision work that they might like to do for a summative work assessment. But again, we'll do a lot of practice to get us ready for all of those summative assessments as well. But please encourage your students. So far, they've been great. Everybody's been at the Zoom and participating, so it's really been wonderful so far. So continue that work, it will be great. Our class is set up in the remote schedule to use the Canvas page. So it's set up by weekly modules, and students will have a calendar. They can see what work we're going to be doing each day and what homework they need to complete. And then all the resources that they'll need, other documents, assignments, will be posted in the Canvas. Students will meet for class in Zoom groups, and we'll have whole class discussions. We'll break out into small groups. I can join those small groups for work. That'll give us a couple different ways we can format our class. They will submit their work through Canvas, and then for the larger assignments, the summative assessments, those will go in through turnitin.com. And in both cases, they'll get feedback on those programs in Turnitin and Canvas as well. We will use Google Docs to share information and papers for students to give feedback in review sessions. And of course, we'll have access to the LT database in the library homepage. Our librarians are great too, so they are very willing to suggest book titles if your students are looking for additional things to read. They have some really wonderful titles, and there will be the ability for students to pick up books here at the library as well too. This is a sample of what the Canvas homepage looks like, so you can kind of see where we have general resources and documents. These obviously extend down, and then as we go through our week, you'll see documents that we're going to be looking at, and then assignments have this little icon that the students would be completing as well too. If you have any questions, the easiest way to get a hold of me is through email. We can always set up a phone conference, but if you want to share any concerns or information that will help you work with your students, that would be wonderful to hear. And I'm available to work with your students during the Vita Plana morning time, during fourth period, or at the end of the day after the last class. So if your students would like to work with a more extended appointment, we can schedule that by email and to have a Zoom conference with the student, or I can also answer quick questions through the student's email. Your students are very excited to be part of LT, and I'm excited to welcome them to their freshman year at LT. And hopefully we'll very soon be looking at activities that are back in session, or at least through Zoom, for them to get involved. I know they want to make this a really rich and rewarding experience. As they also are kind of finding their way with classes and work, and as hopefully activities and sports open up again, if they need to request any kind of time for extensions, please have them do so. I always want to make sure that students are healthy and getting enough sleep and rest and all the good stuff so that they can stay healthy to have a great experience during their freshman year. So again, please reach out if you have any questions, and I'm looking forward to working with your students for a great year. Thank you very much.